What's crackling, everybody? Zerfel Rose and Maggie here bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. In today's video, she decided not to go to sleep. So, shocking as that may be, we're here to talk about the new Electric Cup in Pokemon Go Battle League. So, without further ado, let's just kind of get right into it, right? So, if you're looking to get early access to these meta-analysis videos, not even videos, just meta-analysis in general, so you know what Pokemon to have prepped for the Cup and what teams we're going to be playing right off the bat, join the Patreon Discord, best server I've ever been a part of, and honestly, it's just, there's so much going on in there that it's just, you can't not be there. For the price that it is, you get so much for it. Anyway, in the description, you can go to Patreon and sign up for my Discord. Or if you're looking to get some coaching, maybe you're looking to take your game to the next level, and you some help there, you can go to Metafy in the description as well. So let's talk about the Electric Cup. There's literally just going to be a handful. This is going to be a nice short video. So nice short video with this one. Lantern's number one as always because it's bulky and loses to Galvantula. Beats, however, the rock throwing menaces that are the Alolan Rocks. And I mean, honestly, that's really its only role here. It does a lot of... You're silly. It does a lot of out-bulking, which is what Lantern probably does best in this Cup. And with some energy, it can also beat something like Galvantula. But do keep in mind it is running Water Gun in this meta. And just about everything in this meta is running some kind of damage that isn't electric damage. Because obviously, why are we going to do resisted damage to the entirety of the meta, right? So, they also did ban Vikavolt, Helioptile last minute. So, no more Mud Slappers in the Cup. I think that's great. But speaking of things that have a ground type fast move, Luxray with Hidden Power Ground could be a hidden gem. Hidden, got it? Okay. Anyway, with Psychic Fangs and Hidden Power Ground, it could do a lot of work in this Cup. However, it's very frail, as pretty much all electrics are, and that could be its undoing. So if you have a Shadow, it's ranked number 2 in this meta, above Galvantula, which is number 3, and I think Galvantula is truly the thing to fear in this Cup. Fury Cutter, Lunge, Energy Ball are the 3 moves you can put on it. You can also put Cross Poison on it if you're feeling spicy. Really just gets manhandled by the Alolan Rocks and any Steel types like Magnezone and Togedemaru, but beats Electrode, both forms, beats Luxray, beats Lantern, beats the Minun. It beats basically everything that's not Steel in this Cup. It's kind of ridiculous. So Galvantula is going to be on literally every team because most people are going to have one built. So if you're going to play a team, maybe play a team that can straight beat Galvantula or has some strategy in mind in order with which to beat it. Moving down the list here actually is Minun, which you wouldn't be surprised to see Minun. If you have been playing Ember, you might have some of this built, in considering especially the Minun. But Minun has Quick Attack, Grass Knot, and Discharge, so you're going to be relying mostly on Quick Attack, Grass Knot to do the damage, but Discharge is for those situations like against Lantern where it's also just damage that is neutral. So the electric is neutral, so against like the flying electrics and the water electrics, that's going to be a useful spot for Discharge. But for the most part, Minun is really going to be used to be able to handle things with Grass Knot. Both forms of Electrode are down here, and I've been basically clamoring for Hisuian Electrode. Maggie. She's off in her own world. Clamoring for Hisuian Electrode for a while now for this Cup, and if you've been in my Patreon community, you know that I've been talking about this thing since basically the beginning of the season, so hopefully we've got one ready. That Grass Electric typing allows it to double resist all electric type damage, which is going to be really handy. So you really only need to worry about things that deal non-electric damage, which is, I mean, what we're kind of focusing on here, right? Like the Galvantula will just destroy it with Fury Cutter. But things like Minun and, I mean, Luxray, like, even, like, Lantern, obviously, with the grass typing is going to destroy it. But, like, a lot of the things that are on this page alone, Hisuian Electrode will beat, except for Galvantula. I included Charger Bug in here because I don't know if it was actually taken off the list or not. It's not in the PvPoke rankings because it's still technically banned there. But they don't have it on the official ban list image anymore, so I don't know if it was for sure like in the Cup. But Charger Bug has access to bug type moves and like X-Scissor and Crunch. So those are going to be useful. Charger Bug, if you have one built, will be actually really decent in this Cup. Obviously, like Galvantula, you have to look out for the Alolan Rocks, which are next on the list. And the Alolan Rocks have Rock Throw, and they also have Rock Blast, and they also have, you know, things like Rock Tomb, Rock, you know, Stone Edge. So all of those All three of those Pokemon will be here in this cup, and there will probably be teams of people running all three of them if they have the XL, Alolan Geodude, those mad crazy people. And then Graveler and Golem are probably going to be a very common backline. So have teams that are handily equipped to deal with those Pokemon as well. I feel like between them and Galvantula, those are probably going to be like the three or four most common Pokemon in the entire meta. And then, you know, Lantern and Luxray maybe coming in. Now, Luxray could absolutely demolish the rocks because the Hidden Power Ground, if you have it. And just so you remember, Hidden Power is a type that's generated on the move that is unique to that Pokemon. So once it's got a Hidden Power type, it's never going to get another one. Like if you have Hidden Power Dark or Hidden Power Ice, it's just locked to that Pokemon. But if you catch another Luxray, for example, it could have Hidden Power Ground or it could have a different type Hidden Power. So it's random, generated, put on the Pokemon when you get it. So no matter how many times you TM it, it's always going to be the same type Hidden Power. So if you've got one that knows Hidden Power Ground, I actually have a shiny that has Hidden Power Ground. I found it in my storage like last week. It's actually kind of nice. I don't know if I'm going to use it yet, but it's there, right? So but yeah, the Alolan Rocks are going to get demolished by the Luxray, I'd like to think. Doesn't really say much about them on here. I don't see Luxray on here, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't see it on there. But they also get demolished by Water Gun Lantern. So Water Gun Lantern, like I said, because most things are going to be running things that don't do any super effective damage to it. Like everything is just neutral. Like the Water Gun damage probably just outbulks everything in this meta. So you could easily see a team like Lantern and Galvantula being like the top common core, and then you have like Luxray in the back. That's totally not a team I'm going to run or anything like that. Just put it out there. Just saying. So there's literally 2 pages of meta here, and the next page is going to be a little bit more spicy. Like I don't expect to see any of these things in the cup on a regular basis. You might see one all week. So Manectric, but just so you're aware of what they have. Oh goodness, I'm almost as tired as you are, baby. Manectric has access to Overheat Psychic Fangs. It's probably not going to want Wild Charge in a meta full of electric types, but you might want it for the Lantern if you're going to run it. But Manectric has that Snarl Overheat Psychic Fangs combination. Can also have Thunder, or if you have a Purified one, it has Return. So if you have a Manectric in this meta, Return and something else for coverage, and that would actually be really interesting to me. Now we've got the Alolan Geodude, which has Rock Throw, has Rock Blast, or is it Rock Slide? It's Rock Slide, Rock Tomb. So it's rocks. It's literally just throwing rocks at things. Apache Risu is only doing electric type damage. The only reason that it's winning so many matchups is because it's sheer bulk. But Galvantula, Minun, Graveler, Manectric, and Lantern all beat it. So you can safely run some of these Pokemon against any person that might be running Apache Risu and do fine. Dedenne is a very interesting one, as it is able to, obviously as an electric type, as everything else, resist electric type damage, but also because of its fairy typing, and it has Tackle as a fast move, allows it to actually do some reasonable work against the meta here. Obviously not going to be able to handle some of the steel types, despite, you know, Togedemaru being one of its wins. But it is going to lose to things like Lantern. I feel like Lantern and Galvantula are just going to beat everything, and it's really going to be a matter of who manages their energy more, which is actually what I kind of like about metas like this, which I know that they're not great. Like, mono-type metas suck in a concept, but what they end up being is they end up being energy management, shield management type metas, and then if you're running some spice, maybe, but I digress. Ampharos is here as the new recipient of Brutal Swing. Volt Switch, Brutal Swing, Power Gem, very powerful combination. Still not able to beat Lantern, but it also isn't able to beat Galvantula, so maybe not as great, but anything that beats the Alolan Rocks is still worth keeping in your mind, just because it's nice to have those wins, because it means you can core it with Galvantula if it beats them. So Electivire, Zapdos, Raikou, those are all things that you are most likely not going to see. You might see them. Raikou has Shadow Ball. It's Raikou. I don't know what it's called. I like Raikou. I'm just going to go with Raikou. That's always what I've called it. It has Shadow Ball in its arsenal, so Raikou could be a sleeper pick because those Shadow Balls will hit everything in this meta, and honestly, almost one-shot it for the most part. So let's just dip down to Raikou real quick. Wins over a lot of stuff. Still lose a Steel Galv and Lantern, but it's a spice pick, and with shields it could very potentially take out so many things in this meta that, man, I need to zap myself awake. So I need... Shadow Ball could be very potent, and then you have Electivire, which has the Flamethrower Ice Punch combination. If you're not running Wild Charge in this meta, you're doing okay, because most people aren't going to. And honestly, the things that you would want Wild Charge for, like Electivire would probably want Wild Charge if you see a lot of Lanterns. So I think I would keep Wild Charge and ditch the Flamethrower and keep Ice Punch. So I'd probably still go Wild Charge Ice Punch here just because of Lantern. And then the last thing on the list is Zapdos. Shadow Zapdos, regular Zapdos, they're the things that are going to beat the Galvantulas. So, they're not going to beat Lantern, however. But if you're going to be playing this meta, you're basically going to be running Lantern, Galvantula Core, and then you're basically going to be running something in the back, probably, that also beats the rocks or beats whatever is weak to, Lantern. You're going to want to beat Hisuian Electrode. So, I guess that kind of talks into cores, right? The main core is going to be Lantern, Galvantula, and then you're going to have something in the back that is going to be one or the other, right? So if you're playing the Lantern lead, you're going to want to play something in the back that's going to be able to lure out a Alolan Rock. So maybe you're playing the, the double bug line with Charjabug, or you might be running like Minun or something But if you're going to play Galvantula lead, because it has lunge, it's able to debuff, it's kind of nice. You could go with a Lantern in the back and then maybe a Luxray in the back to be able to do Hidden Power Ground to beat the rocks. Or Hisuian Electrode in the back along with the Lantern in order to beat the rocks. So between those are really like the top teams you're going to see. I think other than that, everything else is spice. And she has finally gone to sleep. So I think that's a good place to end the video, because there's really not much else to talk about for Electric Cup. It's just a crackling conundrum and just full of things that, may shock you. I don't know. Well, let me know in the comments how many stupid puns you heard me say in this video, because there was more than a few. And let me know how your Electric Cup either is going or will go. And I hope we'll see you in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.